Hi, Dinesh ji, hi, Akshay here. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, Akshay. Good evening. I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, awesome. We had some issues with the audio, but I think we are good to go now. So, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. आज एक बहुत ही खास दिन है because बहुत मिन्नत करने के बाद we have been able to catch Nagpal sir. Thank you so much for joining us. अब markets ऐसे juncture Trump 2.0 भी चालू हो गया है. So I mean there's just so much uncertainty. Tariffs की बात हो रही है. Currencies are moving wildly. Equities में तो हम देख ही रहे हैं. कल S&P 500 ने नया record high बनाया. India though is struggling to get its act going on the upside. तो बहुत सारी बातें आपके साथ करनी है, क्रॉस एसेट की बातें करनी है, एंड यू आर द मास्टर ऑफ दिस यूनिवर्स, सो I'll quickly करनी है, and you are the master of this universe, so I'll quickly and all of the wonderful work that you've been doing on the educational front when it comes to the markets. I know you've trained so many traders, investors, and your work rates very highly among all of the trainers that I've had the privilege of knowing. So Dinesh ji, अगर आपकी बात करें तो you've been a full-time trader, trading derivatives since 2006, और आप एक investor भी रहे हो for over 30 years. Is that correct?
Yeah, since college.
Wow. I mean, मैं वही सोच रहा था, because you are so young, maybe you started trading and investing when you were a little boy.
See, the beauty about being bald is that the age is hidden.
Okay, that's a nice trade secret that I can probably use at some point in my own life. But so you also teach courses on Ichimoku. I know that for a fact. I think Ichimoku is one of your, one of the studies that's very, very close to your heart.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you've been doing it for a long time. So I'm pretty sure that everyone who's attending this call will certainly benefit from the kind of expertise that you've been able to build over the years. And then another area that I know is a personal favorite of yours is using Fibonacci via something called harmonic trading methods. Yeah. And I know that for the longest time that I've had the privilege of knowing you, you've done so many online training sessions on both of these things, right? Where you've really gone really deep into the world of Ichimoku, into the world of harmonic trading. I think there are very few people that I know who have been able to master these two topics as well as you have. So I mean, I'm sure there is so much to take away from what you have to show us. And another, thing that I think you do really well, which is still, बहुत कम लोग इसको करते हैं, and that is something that kind of gets hidden from plain sight, and that is the very, very important aspect of trading psychology.
Yeah.
और markets में, risk को truly कैसे manage करना है. I think that is also something that our viewers would love to hear
Right.
your thoughts on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I will then hand it over to you to take it away, but not before letting all of our viewers know that you are very active on Twitter. You have more than 30,000 followers, and that's not surprising because your work is very special. It's best of breed. Or Aaj, like I said before, there's so much that our viewers are looking forward to because the markets are at such a critical juncture. And Trump's second term is only begun. In fact, 3-4 दिन पहले जब Nifty was swinging very wildly, I think it was day one of Trump being sworn as president for the second term. और मैं अपने टीम से बात कर रहा था तो वॉलेटिलिटी बहुत सारे लोग टीम में नए हैं तो उन्होंने कभी ऐसी वॉलेटिलिटी देखी नहीं थी जहाँ पे द मार्केट वाज स्विंगिंग वाइल्डली अप एंड डाउन 200 पॉइंट्स. और हमारे डिस्कशन में जोक ये था कि ये तो पहला दिन है ट्रम्प के प्रेसिडेंसी का, अभी तो 1500 दिन और बाकी है. सो आई एम श्योर द मार्केट्स आर गोइंग टू बी very, very interesting over the next 4 years. But how do they look as we speak? ये हम जानना चाहेंगे, हमारे ढेर सारे viewers जानना चाहेंगे. So Dinesh ji, please take it away and walk us through everything that you have. Thank you.
Thank you, Akshay, and thank you for having me over. So starting with the Nifty, everybody wants to know कि Nifty क्या करेगा. Even the people who are not in derivative trading, we look at Nifty in a very serious manner. Then we look at the stocks and sectors कि हाँ ये हम इसको संभाल लेंगे. Nifty is like a barometer. So I always tell all my students, कि हम जब fundamental वालों से बात करते हैं, they talk, economy, GDP, inflation, and so on. They talk those terms which we are taught in college. Basically we get, but technical is a term nobody talks in schools, in colleges and all that. So but if you look at it from a technical point of view, the Nifty is our barometer. The Nifty is what tells us in advance ki what will happen to the economy, how things will move, what is the signal we are getting, and technicals are always a few steps ahead. The market discounts everything in advance, and that's what technicals tell us all the time. Now, like you said, I do Ichimoku. Now, one of the prime factors about Ichimoku study is time.
Yeah.
That it tells you कि एक trend कितने दिन चलेगा. Time is the primary. The result of price movement is secondary. कि this time to this time is bullish for the market. So उसमें वो कितना भी कर ले.
I think that's a very important point, Dinesh ji, because a lot of people I know बहुत सारी studies use करते हैं और primarily these studies are based on price. But when it comes to using time as such a critical element of the decision making process,
very
I think that is where Ichimoku really stands out.
Yeah, it stands out. So time is something which tells us, what will happen. Now, I am not going to go too much into complexity of time. I'll just explain to you from a simple layman scenario कि जो time cycle चल रहा है हम लोग के market का, Nifty का, वो कैसा चल रहा है. So from the pandemic low, okay, this is the pandemic low. Notice something which is happening from pandemic low till September 2021. Okay, September 2021 का जो month था, just a second. Yeah.
अच्छा दिनेश जी, एक सवाल है, ये is this a weekly chart?
This is a monthly chart. This is monthly. Okay. Monthly. Look at what the market is doing. It did a 27-month swing like this, from यहाँ से यहाँ तक, right?
दिनेश जी, थोड़ा चार्ट में zoom in करोगे please?
Expand. Okay. Yeah. Now clear? Now clear? Now better?
Now it's much clearer. Thank you.
Yeah. So you can see that in the monthly chart from pandemic low to September 21 high. Okay, that's October. That's 19 months. Now from there started an extremely volatile market scenario which saw the movement of price go volatile. That is from this month, which is October 21 till March 23. 17 months. Now, again, from March lows or 23rd, which is where the dream run of stock market started, we've done 18 months. So every 18 months average, we are doing a significant change in markets. Significant cycle turn is happening from 2020. Prior to that, from 2012, when we had Raghuram Rajan coming in as RBI governor, and then in 13 Narendra Modi as the NDA prime minister elect, that time the cycles were running 50 months. That is from one swing low to the next higher low. 50 months chalta tha. So, that is one of the reasons, agar aap notice karo market mein, that the concept of long term, medium term, short term has changed dramatically. Today, long term for a few people is just a few months. वो जल्दी निकल जाते, एक साल में निकल जाते. So the nature of cycle changing in our market has also changed post pandemic. Now the cycles, instead of running 50 months where you had a lengthy duration of a trend, is now coming down to 17 months of wild swings.
Oh, they've actually become way shorter compared to.
Yeah, very shortly. From 50 months, we are down to 17. That's less than 50%. So your time holding a stock is also dynamically changing, in this atmosphere. Even if you want to be a longer term duration holder of the stock, the volatility is taking you out in that, or that social media pressure, that sector is changing, this is getting dumped, etc., is putting pressure on you. So we are now in that 17-month cycle, which ended in the month of September, 18 months. So if we calculate, it's not mandatory ki it will follow a same cycle, but if we consider it to be a similar cycle, then we are into another long duration of a decline, which could run for the whole year. Now that's talking in an ultra bearish mode.
Dinesh ji, if I can just come in, I think I like the consistency in the average cycle length. So पहले हमने जो देखा कि COVID crash के low से it was about 19 months. Then you went essentially sideways for about 18 months, I think you said.
And then again a rally for 18 months. So the cycle of 18, if it is going to continue, now the study of Ichimoku tells us that if a cycle is working, it continuously works till a trend runs. So when a major trend changes, the cycle will change. So we are presuming that the pandemic low cycle is continuing. We are just in a pullback. So if we go by that, then we must keep in mind, it's not mandatory ki wohi hoga, ki this downward action might not be one way down. It might be up, down, lower highs, double top. जो भी करेगा, वो 17 महीना तक stretch हो सकता है. We should not rule that image out of the image just because whatever happens, because time is a very, very tricky play in the whole.
I think that's a great point, because often क्या होता है market में, people think the market should either trend beautifully higher, or bears think now is their opportunity, trend को अच्छी तरह से नीचे जाना चाहिए. But sometimes when you're doing a lot of chop, that's also creating a lot of nervousness, because money making opportunities वहाँ पे बहुत कम हो जाते हैं. Right? Because you're getting upside volatility and downside volatility at the same time.
True. Yeah. So now coming to that part, it's not necessary कि one way traffic होगा. Okay, because there will be good news, there will be some odd performances out, there will be an oversold market which will pump it back up. So now we look at that and Ichimoku from a weekly point of view. Monthly becomes too much to handle a medium-term swing or an assessment of, say, quarterly results of companies. Too much of a time frame to look at it. So now, interestingly, अगर आप pandemic से वापस देखोगे, the Nifty as well as the Bank Nifty, okay, from March, from 22, not from the pandemic, from 2022, every 32 weeks, the Nifty and the Bank Nifty tend to make a swing. Every 32 weeks. And that 32 weeks has ended to this week. Plus minus 1 hota hai, 31, 32, 31, 32. Now we all know that 33 is a very strong Fibonacci number cycle mein. So again, we are just joining different sciences, different studies together and coming to ki, kya ho sakta hai, where does this cycle come to a pause now? Should it hold out here? Now, mind you, when we talk about 32 cycles, 32 weeks, we have a plus minus one. It could stretch for another week also. And the tricky part with Ichimoku cycles is time wise that you cannot consider that swing high or that swing low on an hourly or a daily basis. You have to give the full week candle, you have to give it a full candle formation, violation of the low. तब हम बोलते हैं हाँ नहीं साइकिल कंटिन्यू हो रहा है, it could still be bad in that. So we have a giant cycle of 17 months suggesting turmoil, and at the same time the medium cycle of weekly suggesting कि yes, we could be in for a bump up now at 32 weeks.
You know, I'll
Because
make a I'll make a quick point. Yesterday, I put out a LinkedIn post जिसमें मैंने देखा कि अगर आप जून 4 का अगर इलेक्शन लो का अगर आप देखोगे, then from that particular day on to the day on which हमने record high बनाया Nifty ने, which I think was September 27th. In terms of trading days, that is exactly 81 sessions, which is a square number. और अगर आप 27 September के date से, if you come all the way down to yesterday, then that cycle was complete at 81 trading days on the way down also.
Yeah, square of 9. Yeah, we have a square of 9. Yeah. Right. And in Ichimoku, we have 17 is considered a very important number.
Yes.
Because you see, the whole study works on the concept of the moon cycle.
Yes.
And 17 is 2/3 of a moon cycle, right? So if the moon cycle, we look at it, 17 ये आपका 76 days, यहाँ से थोड़ा सा मेरे को लेना पड़ेगा, right? Right. So because I was looking at weekly, in weekly, that's the trick. You cannot have what you call exact daily misprecision of turnaround. And even when we are doing time, so very important for our viewers to understand. In terms of price, when we say ki buy a stock or sell a stock, or I am bullish on this or I am bearish on this, we give a level. इसके ऊपर या इसके नीचे. Time में आप वैसे नहीं बोल सकते हो, because you can give a weekly time और वो पूरा वीक में प्राइस कहां से कहां पहुंच जाएगा. So you have to look at time in a sense of a catalyst to the move.
Correct.
And then try to work in that way. So coming back, so 32 weeks का साइकिल चल रहा है. 32 weeks का अगर ये साइकिल फिर से रिस्पेक्ट करेंगे तो हमें एक वापस बम्प अप मिलना चाहिए मार्केट में. Now before that, just let me go once back to the monthly time frame. Now in Ichimoku, we have something, this red line that you see in my chart. This is
can you Dinesh ji थोड़ा और zoom in करिए ना please.
Yeah. Okay. Now this red line that you see out here, this is the Ichimoku version of different moving average. We call this a baseline.
Correct.
Now the baseline in Ichimoku has a tremendous USP. Why I use Ichimoku and not any other moving average is the baseline has a magnet impact. कि जब वो फ्लैट हो जाएगा ना तो वो ट्रेंड को अपने पास टानेगा या साइडवेज कर देगा. यू कैन सी इन द पास्ट ऑल्सो फ्रॉम दिस पीरियड आउट हियर वी हैड September 21 till pulling it down till June 22. The baseline was totally flat. It will not let your trend run.
I think it happened in I think in the first half of 2024 also, I think.
Yes, in the lower time frame it's there. So now look at this, from September the baseline totally flat. A flat baseline is like a magnet. It will attract you towards it. It will not let the trend run away. यहाँ में भी आप देख लो, उसके पहले ये ब्रीफ पीरियड है, यहाँ पर भी अर्ली पार्ट व्हाट यू आर सेइंग द जनवरी फरवरी वाला, ये देखिए ये पूरा जोन रोक दिया. अगस्त जुलाई लास्ट ईयर पूरा, इट वोंट लेट द मार्केट रन. आपको कितने भी अच्छे न्यूज आए, कितने भी खराब न्यूज आए, वो चलने ही नहीं देता है मार्केट को अपने एंगल से.
Now, if I understood you correctly, you're saying कि जब baseline flat हो जाती है, it can either drag prices onto it, or the trend will go sideways.
Absolutely, yeah. One of the two it will do. Now, this flat line is going to be flat till March end.
अच्छा.
So काफी टाइम है उसके पास फ्लैटनेस का. So it's done its bulk of its job of pullback, जो पुल बैक करता है ये वाला. So now that pullback का minimum which we expect in Ichimoku is somewhere near 22,650-700, which is
I like those. I love those levels, and I'll also tell you why.
I'll agree. I know why Fibonacci. I'm coming to that with you now. So that is the level where it is trying to pull it to, कि price यहाँ आएगा. That's why you see, no matter what we are trying to do in the daily and hourly, वो वापस flip मार देता है नीचे आके. कितने भी आप अच्छे रिजल्ट दो, वापस टान लेता है. Today was another classic example of going haywire. Right now, let's
Dinesh,
look at
quick question. वो जो baseline है फिलहाल monthly chart पे, उसका अभी का level क्या है, कहाँ पे है
वो 21,500 है.
अच्छा.
Oh, that's pretty far, but it's not necessary it will go there.
Understood.
It has a time factor in it. Now look at the weekly Ichimoku. This weekly Ichimoku is also inside the cloud. Now in Ichimoku we say when the price is inside a cloud. See, above the cloud, for our viewers who are new to it, means bullish. Below the cloud means bearish. Inside the cloud means volatile uncertainty. Volatile uncertainty. So what we are seeing now, अगर ये जितना time cloud के अंदर रहेगा, it will create more chaos. वो chaos create कर देगा. You can make you go berserk with its crazy movements either side. So one has to be careful inside this. So coming to the risk management part, this is the area you need to reduce your exposure. So
very good point.
So you trade in a lesser quantity or you trade with a hedge. You do not try to do overnight like it'll happen today. If supposing you had short yesterday or today morning, it came down and it again pulled back, again took your stop loss, again came down, right? So haywire कर देता है market को उस समय.
तो हम ऐसा कह सकते हैं दिनेश जी, for the benefit of our viewers, कि जब like in this case weekly chart पे इस हफ्ते की candle अब Ichimoku cloud के अंदर है, so going forward we might see a lot of volatility, but there'll be no net trend, so to say.
No, it's a trend. अभी तक even though we have the Ichimoku date of turn, we need some follow through green candle to say कि bounce आ रहा है. But जब तक cloud के अंदर है, it will be crazy. वो पागल कर देगा आपको एकदम cloud के अंदर. Now that 22,700 level. Now coincidentally see this from the March lows till the September high. If I tell you 38% Fibonacci, you being a Elliott wave expert will spot this 22,670 level, which is also my weekly, my monthly Ichimoku minimum expectation. So two studies coming together to you and telling you क्या level आ सकता है market में. So plan your trades accordingly. Plan it. Push with the trade accordingly. So there are a lot of.
एक और बार, can you just repeat those levels?
Yeah. So that if you take from the March 23 lows to the September 24 highs, the Fibonacci retracement of this entire journey.
Understood.
Okay, this entire journey, 38% is coming at 22,650, which is also the Ichimoku monthly expected level of the magnet pullback.
I think
उतना तो करना ही चाहिए उसको.
एक और
plus minus
एक और reason,
50 points.
एक और reason, Dinesh ji, sorry to interrupt there.
Yeah,
but
no,
एक
go
और
ahead,
reason
sir.
why I think that 22,500, 22,700 area on the cash Nifty is important is because if you draw, a rising trend line off of the COVID lows, that's exactly where it crosses. आप एक बार देख लो. This is a logarithmic chart, is it?
Yeah, this is log. I'll just make it into non-log.
Yeah, just make it arithmetic.
Yeah, correct. Exactly वहाँ आता है. Exactly. Wow. So we have so many confluence of signals coming to us कि ये कहाँ जा सकता है. The problem, again, it's again about trading psychology mindset. The problem with a trader is that includes me. That हमको instant result चाहिए. We want the result to come as fast as possible. We don't have the patience in us कि ये एक level है, यहाँ तक जा सकता है. Now let's trade with that direction. Let's move in that direction and do. That's the tough part of trading. Analysis is over. Yeah. Go ahead.
I think that has become even more pronounced after COVID.
Yeah, and also sir, दूसरा बात क्या होता है ना, एनालिसिस में हम लोग अपने कंट्री में we overrate the analysis part and we brush it, below the carpet, the mindset, the discipline, the trading psychology part. Nobody wants to come out and say, yeah, I messed it up. Yeah, I read it. I didn't do it properly. Or I knew it's a stop loss. I knew the trend is this, but I did the opposite. दिल का बात सुन रहा है, दिल तो बच्चा ही है ना, तो वही हो रहा है. सो वन नीड्स टू स्पेशली जब आप राइजिंग मार्केट देखते हो ना, दिस एंटायर राइजिंग मार्केट, इट वाज लाइक बहती गंगा में आपने हाथ धोया, नहा लिया, because everything would eventually rally, right? But in a corrective market, it's a different beast altogether. A correction never follows a regulation path. It has its own heart. It's erratic. It's a spoiled brat child who's not in control. So if that trend is so volatile, trying to micromanage that trend is an extremely tough ask to do. You could have 1 week of fantastic profits, then you get into a trade thinking कि मेरे को तो सब आता है, and one day it will wallop you. In and out it will wallop you.
Yeah, and another thing is 4-5 year, अगर हम ये पीरियड देखें कोविड के लो के बाद वाला, we've had okay, for the first year after COVID there was a lot of volatility because the market was swinging very wildly up and down, but uske baad, because we've had that consistent up move, and we've also seen that dips aate the, but agle din se wapas the market would climb to a new high. A lot of people who were new to the markets, because they came into this game post the COVID lows, they were conditioned into believing that this is exactly what happens.
By the dip. They didn't know how deep the dip.
जो 3-4 महीने का जो सितंबर में हमने टॉप बनाया, 4 महीने से हम गिर रहे हैं, people are not able to believe that good stocks can fall 20-30% because they've never seen it.
Yeah, but they are also in denial that there are certain stocks which have gone up 100x, 10x, 20x.
And in such a short period of time.
At least उतना तो accept कर लो कि क्या हो रहा है market में, come back to reality in that terms. So it's a balancing, like you said. So this is our weekly scenario, which is that level of 22, 650, 700 plus minus 50 points is inviting us. Now, please keep in mind the Ichimoku study of the baseline says that if the 31st January candle, okay, that is next Friday, on the eve of the budget, gives us a candle close below 22,650 or 50 point ले लीजिए, 22,600.
I'm just putting that into the chat room. So you said if the 31st January
candle close.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Gives a close below 22,600 पकड़ लीजिए.
Okay.
Number is 650, but I will give another 50 points tolerance to it. If it gives a monthly close below 22,600, it opens the door for 21,500. Which could come pretty fast, comparatively much faster to the decline we have seen. So that's our Lakshman Rekha for next Friday. All eyes as an Ichimoku trader, investor will be there. कि ये level संभालो, नहीं तो और band बचेगा. It will be like that. उसमें, right? So that's a very crucial line that we are going to see. I'm going to draw a horizontal line out here and explain it to you.
While you're doing that, Dinesh ji, it's interesting even from a GAN standpoint, because GAN said whenever you're dealing with numbers which are 4 digits or 5 digits, so in this case 20 to 500, let me come to that number. If you divide that by 100, you get 225, which is also a square number.
Yes.
Because and then I go back to the 2008 lows. If you remember the Nifty cash market ka low, just then it was 2252.
Yeah.
And if you divide it by 10, you get 225, which is again the same square of 15.
Yeah. So numbers,
everything, like you rightly said, everything is occurring in that same area.
Yeah, the cycle is working like that, totally working like that. So we know where we are headed and what we need to protect. Or further, why just because the cycle is getting over, should I jump into it? So let me have some cushion level to decide whether it's worth it or not. Okay, now coming to the daily part, we're going into the daily time frame. Okay, now in the daily, if you notice this trend line, which is the budget low, the budget ke 2-3 दिन बाद का, see that trend line, it got respected on November 21st. And now near that trend line, it's flirting around this trend line. यहाँ ही घूम रहा है, बार बार यहाँ से उसको एक पंप अप मिल रहा है कि बचा लो मुझे बचा लो, बट कुछ हो नहीं रहा है वैसा. नाउ इन इचिमोकू दिस इज अ टोटल सेल एरिया. यहाँ कोई भी एंगल से इन द डेली टाइम फ्रेम इट्स नॉट इवन टेलिंग अ, नॉट इवन गिविंग अ शॉर्ट कवरिंग सिग्नल. फॉरगेट बाइंग, शॉर्ट कवरिंग भी नहीं दे रहा है कि जो भी है आराम से बैठ जाओ एंड स्टे चिल, लाइक दैट काइंड ऑफ अ सिग्नल इट इज गिविंग राइट नाउ.
You know,
नाउ
there is एक चीज मैं नोटिस कर रहा हूँ वहां पे. If you just zoom in into the recent price action,
या
you will realize. So, assuming that the baseline is the orange line,
या
you will see how there was that short burst
राइट
higher, which no, just previously there was that there were those three green candles, no,
राइट राइट
yeah,
राइट.
and that also went to the baseline and then immediately
Yeah,
sold off.
magnet pulled it up and got it. Now before that also you see ये पूरा stretch देखिए 5th December to 19 December,
Flat.
magnet did not let anything happen to the market.
Correct.
Absolutely. So it works both ways, bullish as well as bearish. Now from the bearish point of view देखिए, everyone short on this candle 13
Yeah.
Jan, flat period, didn't allow the market to go anywhere. चिपका देगा एकदम एक जगह में जाके. It'll eat, it'll tear into your patience, and then come those weekly strangle palas and all that strangle straddle short, and then comes the volcano, and one fine day, whack, you're gone out of the picture out
Yeah.
there. Now out here, let me show you some harmonic patterns which developed. The first one was a bearish seahorse which had got activated on this date at this level 24,000 is activate हुआ था. The first, this gave us a target of 20,300 लेवल हो गया. यहाँ पर सॉरी 24,300 का टारगेट दिया था, वो अचीव हो गया. ये टारगेट्स
Dinesh,
हमारे अचीव हो गए.
do you mind showing us the seahorse pattern? Maybe you can
Yeah.
remove
So a
Ichimoku's
Seahawks
variable
pattern
speed.
is a reversal of a continuation of a bearish pattern. Okay.
I see.
So this was a bearish ABCD at the top.
Yeah.
It gave a breakdown. So that's a continuation of bearishness which came in the market, which suggested that the market will pierce down for another 1,500 points. Here.
I see.
So this is the target. Okay. So continuation of a bearish pattern. So harmonic reversal gives you a Fibonacci target. वो कर लिया, but strength continues to be weak, so we continue being bearish on that stock. So it gave us this target. यहाँ से एक bounce दे दिया market ने. Now we are down here. Now let me show you what is now the हार्मोनिक पैटर्न्स अगर कोई है मार्केट में जो इस समय हमको थोड़ा रिलीफ दे सकते हैं. ये भी जो लेवल हम देख रहे हैं ना, यहाँ पर भी एक बुलिश हार्मोनिक था. जस्ट लेट मी ड्रॉ दैट टाइनी वन फर्स्ट. One minute, just let me.
Yeah, you will have to increase the width of the line, I think.
Yeah, I'll do that. Just one second.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to make this bigger. So this was a bullish harmonic alt bat structure which gave us the bounce, muted bounce, and has virtually given up from there right now. If it was a bull trend market, it would have pushed its way above 23,500 also, maybe gone till 24,000 like this. But it gave up this one. Okay. Now let's look at the other two harmonic patterns which are developing. First one is out here. Just a second.
Yeah, I think while you're doing that, Dineshji, I think abhi, if you look at the entire decline from the all-time high, we may be forming on the right-hand side a classic AB equal to CD. I think that is what you're trying to point.
Right. So we also have a bullish Gartley down at 22,400. Okay, we have a bullish Gartley out here at 22,400, and in the lower time frame, एक तो ये देख लीजिए, ये इधर आता है 22,400, 350 के पास है, right? Now the other one is here. same level आएगा of a deep crab. 22,350. Same 300, thoda bahut idhar udhar. So double harmonics sitting at this level. First we have that Ichimoku support line 22,650. That's a monthly one. If that violates, then we know this is the level on the downside we would be looking for before any kind of buying comes in the market or any level of support comes. Now it is not necessary कि उधर ही जाएगा, कोई गारंटी नहीं होता है. सो व्हाट शुड बी अ आइडियल short covering level for this market?
You read my mind. That was actually going to be my next follow-up question.
So if you just take a line chart and you just leave it here, okay, this is the on the eve of election day.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, this is the what you call the exit poll test. November 20th breakdown. So at least let the candle start forming above 350. इस लेवल के ऊपर तो चलने दो उसको, तब हम लोग बात करेंगे कि यस थोड़ा सा bounce आता है. Now where does the bounce get trapped in? It's got a 23,600 till 24,200. These are the levels we could talk. There could be a level, agar mana supposing we have a fantastic budget or whatever bullishness comes in the market, then we would be looking at 24,700 as a putback. All this will only be possible if 23,650 is held by the 31st of January. If not held, तब तो चांस तो और खराब है. Held तो ठीक है, bounce मिलेगा हमको एक अच्छा.
You mean 22,650, no?
Yeah, 22,650. Sorry. Yeah. So वो level बहुत crucial है निफ्टी के लिए going forward in this. Now coming to the dates, like I gave you the monthly 17 candle, I told you the weekly 32 candle cycle. Now coming to the daily, there was a cycle change expected on the 21st of Jan.
Yes, I was actually expecting something similar on the 23rd. I mean, give or take a couple of days is fine.
Yeah, so अगर 21st Jan का lows नहीं breach होता है on a daily closing basis, now that's the issue with the time study. It will not look at a lower tick and all that. So अगर ये hold होगा तो एक bounce मिलता है. The next Ichimoku turn date is in the second week of February. Second week of February. So if we get a bounce back, those are the dates I will be looking to for a short opportunity or to get out of any long in that date. At the same time, because वो date है, I'm going to keep an open mind कि अगर नीचे breach हुआ तो second week of February तक ही low बनेगा जाके. Second week of February तक आराम से wait करूंगा for a foundation swing to happen in the market. Because what has happened is that from 27th till the 27th September till the 21st of January, except for one particular date, all Ichimoku swing dates have made lows. All of them. एक एक्सेप्शन बना है खाली यहाँ पर, नहीं तो हर डेट हमको एक लो बन रहा है, मिल रहा है.
Which is, I mean, these are really good probabilities to have, right? Even with that one exception.
Yeah, so I would be, as an Ichimoku analyst and trader, would be looking at direction based on either above 370 or below 23,000, almost 23,000, with that date in mind कि इस डेट तक मैं अपने ट्रेड को ट्रेल कर सकता हूँ, provided ऐसा कोई major turn नहीं आता है. So plan it accordingly, time and price together, and move with that direction accordingly. फिलहाल तो it's because if we now whatever I've spoken to you on Ichimoku, the monthly is bearish, the weekly is bearish, the daily is bearish, the hourly is also bearish. So thinking about bullishness right now in the Nifty looks wobbly. Maybe the index can go sideways.
I mean, you make some very important points, which really bring me to my next question, so to say, which is, I'm pretty sure, on everyone's minds. And that is, let us assume hypothetically the Nifty comes to that zone we've been talking so much about, right? Which is the zone between, let's say, 22.5 and 22.7. Right. Now, if it comes there and starts, creating some bullish evidence, what will it take for the market to go past on the upside? For you and me to say that, okay, it looks like a durable bottom has now been formed. वो क्या level होगा ऊपर की तरफ?
तो वो between 22,400 to 22,700 है मेरे लिए. Not even, I wouldn't call it a bottom. I would call it initially I would only call it a short swing, because again we have to keep in mind that it's a major hit on sectors also, right?
Yeah.
It's not just कि खाली Nifty की धुलाई हुई है. It's been a brutal carnage across all sectors. So one needs to be careful considering the turnaround. Yes, we take it level by level. So if it's supposing we are looking for a turnaround, say from here, we are not even going down to 22,400, say 22,700 only. So what should be my first plot? My first plot would be a pullback to this concentration area out here. You know, because इतना distribution है, you can't think of कि ये यहाँ से यहाँ चला जाएगा. नहीं, it's too, we should not think like that initially, at least after a major bruising. Yes, you be with the part of the trend, you trail your winner, you run it. जितना ज़्यादा चले उतना अच्छा है.
Yeah, you're right. And I think given how much volatility we are seeing already and how much is likely to come with Trump back, I think itna girne ke baad, for the market to have a short squeeze, at least a near-term short squeeze, which gives you like 2 or 3% on the upside, does not mean you're completely out of the woods, because that kind of volatility is guaranteed.
Not at all. You have to take it level by level now. Just try to, as a trader, mentally prepare yourself to what was 2023-24. We were buying every dip, whether it was a fast dip, whether it was a shallow dip, right? Now start thinking in terms of the opposite. कि यहाँ हमको book करना है. Now I know majority people are always on the long side. They don't like to short, majority of the public. So अगर आप long side भी सोचते हो, तो plan your trades accordingly. Start with a tight target, उसको trail करो, फिर उसमें expand करो, आप चलते जाओ. Anyway, let's take a simple example. When someone tells you a stock is a multi-bagger, or this is a beauty of a stock which will give you 2x, 3x, 4x return. So you don't expect it to happen instantly. It happens over a period. So trade accordingly, set your trade goals accordingly, keep looking at levels and alerts accordingly and play. Don't get carried away in this market for a huge return. Now,
and I think another thing, Dineshji, that's happened is, if I maybe go back like a decade or more, I could still talk about, this is where the market is going to go in a few weeks or a few months. Now with this kind of volatility, I think you have to take it day by day.
Yeah, you can't think of a big volume, because like we discussed, the time frame of cycles and the time frame of holding of an average investor is shortened like crazy now. वो patience ही नहीं रहा trader में. So what we do in real life, we emulate in our trading also. So we've become the new generation. After the social digital revolution, our patience to hear something, read something, watch something is shrunk like crazy. People, I read an article that is slight digress कर रहा हूँ कि now OTT is the second screen. Your mobile is your first screen. So if you only watch something on the OTT platform, provided something what you're seeing in your mobile is not that interesting. So people are doing double screen. इतना patience नहीं है कि मैं कोई picture भी पूरा देखूं.
I can think of this analogy, from like an everyday sort of a life standpoint. If you look at some of these Blinkits of the world who claim to deliver in like 10 minutes, so 10 minutes becomes your benchmark for everything then.
True. Right? Patience, there is no patience left now, and that's what is showing on your screen also. Now you can call it Jane Street, you can call it whatever you want, but it is also the mindset of the traders which is changing rapidly. You can call it algo coming into the picture, whatever you want to call it. But ultimately, it is the human emotion which is playing the game along the way, right? Indirectly. So this is one factor we must keep in mind. And actually, you just told a very important line, which I will be coming later on to. We were seeing in the month of June, then again during the budget, then again in August, and again in early September, sharp decline candles giving way to new highs. equally sharp bounces, right?
Yeah,
Just
and immediately.
just remember this part, and I come towards, as I move ahead now into the sectors. Okay,
Yeah.
what I fear is could happen now. Okay, because this is a feature of something which is very scary, right? Now, before that, let's do Bank Nifty.
Yeah,
Now,
very important.
yeah,
No,
Bank Nifty
and the
is the
bank
queen.
and
Yeah,
the bank nifty has actually been in the news because a couple of weeks ago, I think we broke like a long term trend
yeah.
line, and everyone was talking about it.
Yeah, so Bank Nifty is like the queen, in the game of chess. Jitna bhi kar lo, you need the queen. Without the queen, no trend can survive. You can look at Nifty and Bank Nifty. Whenever Bank Nifty rallies, the Nifty does well.
Yeah,
Whenever Bank Nifty does not rally and every other sector tries to do well, the Nifty is sluggish.
yeah.
It just doesn't have the legs to do well. Now, in the weekly, the Bank Nifty is again inside a cloud. Now, you can see क्या हालत है बैंक निफ्टी का. Okay, now imagine जो अभी निफ्टी का होने वाला है अगर वो और क्लाउड में रहता है. So more uncertainty, more craziness. This is what the cloud has done to the daily time frame. पूरा रिग मरोल कर दिया है. Now here, okay, just 1 minute. Yeah, in the Nifty, I have two bullish harmonic patterns awaiting on the downside. Okay, but आ नहीं रहे. Here why? Because इसका जो टाइम साइकिल है वो 32 weeks का रिस्पेक्ट हो रहा है फिलहाल. It's getting respected. That's why it's not stopping, and it has a more clean cycle than our Nifty. Bank Nifty cycles of 32 weeks work like gems. So that 32 weeks is over. It's trying to not fail that cycle this time. But nevertheless, if the level of say 48,000 does not hold, where the cycle is expected to change, it
Hmm.
pushes its way once to 47,000, which is one pattern in front of me. And prior to that, I have another pattern, which is a cipher,
A bullish cipher, right?
right, at 47,700. So 47,700 and 47,000 are the two levels in Bank Nifty, which in case there is a panic drop, comes, because we have two heavyweights still to come out with numbers tomorrow, ICICI, and on 6th, SBI. Okay, two of the only heavyweights which are pending to come in the numbers, which could drag this down. Now, on the upside, if we respect this cycle of 32 weeks, then this is the level I will be very keenly looking at. This one. Do you see the distribution which took place in the market
Yeah,
from
and that one of the एक और reason ये है दिनेश जी why
that
that
head and
is
shoulder?
important.
Right,
हाँ, and
massive
the
head
other
and
thing is
shoulder.
वो that baseline had gone flat in the past in that
Totally,
same area.
totally. So if just let us show our viewers कि खाली baseline से क्या होता है market में. Okay, I'm just
थोड़ा
going
सा
to
दिनेश जी आप zoom in कर लीजिए और
yeah कर देता हूँ. So I'm just showing the baseline to
yeah.
make the viewer understand कि ये क्या करता है. Okay, 1 minute. Look at this. Look at that period of flatness and what it does to the market. Period of flat, जहां वो स्लांट मारेगा रैली आएगी, जहां फ्लैट रहेगा वो कुछ नहीं करने देगा मार्केट को. एंड लुक एट द डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन लेवल which has taken place in Bank Nifty in the period from here all the way. That's a 1 year distribution we are talking. Was one almost massive distribution
Yeah,
in the market.
I don't think I remember any distribution that took so long, at least on the chart of the
Yeah,
Bank Nifty.
and of course it's not a classical head and shoulder,
Correct.
but it is like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It's a complex head and shoulder.
Yeah, it looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger's head and shoulder है उधर में और मिस्टर इंडिया का. सो यहाँ से वो डंप मारा है, राइट. सो अगर हम वापस रैली की भी बात करते हैं, विच इज अगेन क्लासिकल चार्ट पैटर्न्स, कि अ ब्रेक डाउन tends to do a throwback to the area of breakdown. So
Yeah.
this breakdown, maybe it'll do 49,700 to 5,500, where it finally gave way, जहां में डैम खुल गए थे. So one should be extremely careful in Bank Nifty. Short term bounces are something which मिल जाए तो आप समझो आपको वो गंगा स्नान हो जाए, ऐसा माना सीन है
और
इसका.
आपने आपने जैसे कहा ना, आई थिंक द बैंक निफ्टी लास्ट आई चेक्ड, आई मीन financials had like a more than 30% weightage, in the
Yeah,
Nifty. So
35,
if
35% the
35%,
six
so
banks
the bank
control.
Nifty remains a laggard, then for the other sectors to do the kind of heavy lifting that will keep the Nifty afloat
Yeah.
itself becomes a challenge.
So going forward, या तो ये 47,700 या 47 से हमको ऐसा टर्न दे दे तो समझ नहीं आता है. और अगर समझिए यहाँ से एक बाउंस देता है, बजट रैली बोल दीजिए या कुछ भी बोल दीजिए, तो यहाँ से फिर वो आपका ये हेड एंड शोल्डर का फिर टारगेट करेगा. बिकॉज इट्स टेंडेंसी ऑफ द मार्केट इज ऑफ हेड एंड शोल्डर पैटर्न्स दैट आफ्टर द ब्रेक दे गो बैक टू द नेकलाइन एंड देन दे कम डाउन. इट्स नॉट मैंडेटरी बट इट डज दैट. सो
It typically happens.
yeah, so this is bank nifty for you, which is माना nobody has made money in bank nifty from July. वो मर्डर कर दिया है. वो 4 दिन कमाने देता है, 10 दिन मार देता है, फिर फ्लैट ले जाता है. एंड when the weekly bank nifty options were there, that the game it was playing with traders, the premium vanishing away, it's crazy. It's totally crazy. And that's the culprit, that she's the culprit which has made Nifty into a laggard globally. If you compare the Nifty with the DAX, with the S&P, we are lagging since the last 7-8 months. The reason of laggard is here in front of you. चलने ही नहीं देगा मार्केट को. Okay, so this is my bank Nifty scenario. I will, if it starts pushing up from 48,700, then it will go back to the neckline. Else I will wait for 47,700 to 47,000. उसके पहले I don't want to even look at from a long point of view at all. इसके ऊपर जाएगा तो yes, trading bounce मिल सकता है. Now coming to Nifty IT. Now when you, and I told you ना, एक बार आप वो जो जून से हमारा मार्केट का बिहेवियर हुआ है निफ्टी का, I'll show you that here now. In the monthly, the baseline is beginning to go flat. Right? Okay, and you'll see last month. The last 2 monthly candles, they're hinting to you something कि इतना easy नहीं है अब IT stocks.
And therefore the problem with, and this I didn't know personally, but clearly the bank Nifty is not doing what bulls want to see. IT is the second most heavily weighted, sector, so to say. From what I think. So if the baseline on the Nifty IT index is also going flat, then the question arises that if two heavyweights are, one of them is already struggling. If this other heavyweight also starts to struggle, then, I mean, putting all the pieces together,
and this is
what is going to keep the Nifty higher?
This is going to be flat for 5 months.
Yeah, that is
until a high is taken out. So until a high is taken out, नहीं तो नहीं होगा. 5 months का flatness है, so it is going to be. Now I'll tell you why. Now look at the weekly. Weekly में I'll just expand. इसको एक बार खोल देता हूँ. Yeah. If it makes a run up, okay. Let's say if it makes a run up, okay. It has a bearish harmonic deep crab waiting at 47,700, 800. By chance run up भी आएगा, so this rally in IT could be the exit rally in IT. इसका वो डर है मुझे इसमें.
Which means ऐसा possible है कि if the Nifty IT recovers, I mean, it'll maybe, and the bank Nifty does not fall as much, we might see a bit of a recovery in the Nifty, but I mean, the likelihood of the Nifty continuing to advance will be very low because the Nifty IT has many other
it's also coming to that exhaustion point now. It's also, if it takes out 47, 700, 300, 400, then तो ठीक है, 55,000 कर देगा. But फिलहाल, this is also in giving you a warning signal कि थोड़ा बच के रहो इधर में. Okay. Now, the reason why I told you about, look at the size of the candle which is forming in in Nifty at that time. Now, look at what IT index is doing to us. Look at the large candle, green candle, massive red candle, massive fall, again like this. So yesterday Coforge numbers, and persistent, fantastic numbers, jumped up. Cient doesn't have a weightage on the index, minus 20% today. So अगर आप IT stocks भी select कर रहे हो ये सोच के कि IT सब भागेंगे, then sorry, it is in a complete disarray. The IT एक time था all IT stocks used to run except for an odd one or two, 90% were running. That is also now disintegrating slowly,
So
slowly disintegration.
एक और चीज दिनेश जी, which I'm
Yeah,
starting to observe recently, is that I think the Indian IT sector was a lot more correlated to how tech was doing in the US.
yeah,
Now tech continues to do well in the US, but we are actually struggling.
yeah. And also it is still not turned and given you a higher high. Trend line breach भी नहीं हुआ है, तो जब तक trend line नहीं breach होगा, इधर भी caution है इस समय. Okay, in IT also there is tremendous caution. Of course it can breach on the upside, but till it does not, I am not in a mood of assuming कि ये क्या कर सकता है. Okay, now the reason, when I told you about Bank Nifty, now look at this chart. This is the Bank Nifty to IT ratio chart, right? In 2022, this bottomed and we saw a beautiful Bank Nifty rally. Beautiful rally. IT was succumbed. It's been a vice versa from June of this year. IT stocks have done Bank Nifty. In fact, from last year, Bank Nifty has been a laggard. And even though Nifty did fantastically well, other sectors supported it, but it was a laggard. This was a bullish harmonic reversal in the monthly. Now look at what is happening in the weekly. So the chances of a Bank Nifty 47,700 समझे या 47 या जो बाउंस हम एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं बैंक निफ्टी में वो आएगा आईटी के रिप्लेसमेंट में. It has a bullish Gartley coming up at 1.05, अभी 1.1 है. It also has at that exact number a cipher.
A cipher, yeah.
So two double harmonic patterns in the ratio chart, just 0.05, which is
and therefore we are looking at a confluence of support where the Bank Nifty is likely to finish its underperformance against the IT and start climbing up in relative terms.
It's almost there. It's almost there. थोड़ा सा और होगा, maybe a week, 10 days of panic, and that's where we will see. Now when we say Bank Nifty will do better than IT, it does not mean कि Bank Nifty ऊपर IT नीचे. It means
that was going to be my next question. So we might also have a scenario where both fall. Bank Nifty does not fall as much, but IT falls a lot more.
Yeah, and अगर rallies आया, it will be Bank Nifty better than IT. After we complete this pattern is still not ready. It is almost there. Maybe the ICICI Bank result or the SBI result will make that happen. So one should wait patiently. We are almost there. जहाँ हम 18, 20, 24 months, April 23 से wait कर रहे हैं उस चीज का. So let's wait and let it come to our rescue. Then we look at banking that way. Now, sir, coming to the small cap index, everyone's darling in 2023, 2024. जो touch करो सोना चांदी की तरह small cap भागा. Look at the small cap index, sir. Phenomenal move. Now, look at the high of the small cap index, which happened in July. Market topped out in September. The index topped out in July of 2024, just before the budget. It did an Ichimoku price time theory target at 18,950. Now, because monthly we have to give it some tolerance here there. It completed its target. It reversed from there. Also, you must have, sir, already noted flat baseline.
Yeah.
Look at the hole. Look at the disaster it can do to a market.
I'm just thinking, a couple of days ago, I was doing some analysis on how much the average stock has dropped relative to the benchmark. And when I see the monthly baseline going flat like this, I mean, there could be more trouble, right?
Absolutely, sir. It has to come to a particular level, complete its at least certain path of its pullback, and then maybe it can turn. अगर नहीं रुका, like we didn't talk about the Bank Nifty, it can cause havoc. If that happens, that means there is no strength to hold it. वो फुल स्पीड में मैग्नेट अट्रैक्ट करेगा. फिर अभी तो स्लोली है, स्लो टॉर्चर चल रहा है. नाउ लुक एट द वीकली सर. वीकली में इतना प्रोमिनेंट नहीं है, डेली में आपको दिखाता हूँ. वीकली में व्हाट आई हैव डन इज फ्रॉम द अप्रैल, दैट इज वेयर द स्मॉल कैप rally started till where it has given up, the 38% Fibonacci coming to 15,500. Okay,
And where are
which
we
is
currently, sir?
16,950.
And this is
बहुत
NSE small
दिल्ली
cap.
बहुत दूर है, दिल्ली बहुत दूर है अभी भी उसमें. और सर इसमें आप एक चीज नोट करो, दैट 15,500 वो फ्लैट मंथली बेसलाइन का मिनिमम रिक्वायरमेंट है हमारे पास. अभी उसमें भी टाइम है होने का. ओके सर, फिर आते हैं डेली में. डेली में कितना प्रोमिनेंट है देखिए, डबल टॉप इसमें.
I think this is one of the this chart should be plastered on everyone's walls when it comes to defining what a distribution looks like.
Right, absolute crazy ना सर, इतना डरावना डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है ये. नाउ इन हार्मोनिक्स we have a study called Dragon.
Yeah,
So
correct.
a double top is called a dragon in harmonics. It's a bearish double top failure. Okay, it's a double top reversal. So dragon bana hai. The dragon is suggesting a target of 15,500. So a dragon at 15,500, a Fibonacci at 15,500, and an Ichimoku monthly requirement of 15,500 in the small cap index is what we are staring at. Of course, it does not mean वो one way आएगा. Okay, वो अगर कोई pull back देता है तो if I am holding small cap stocks, I will like to do some Ganga Snan in this area. सर अगर समझिए आई कैन ऑलवेज गो रॉन्ग. सपोजिंग वो यहाँ निकल जाता है, कोई बात नहीं, मैं ऊपर भाव में फिर खरीद लूंगा. बट एक बार तो यहाँ सोचूंगा बाय बाय करने के लिए इस पुल बैक में, बिकॉज इफ इट इज गोइंग टू कम डाउन इट्स गोइंग टू हर्ट अस really badly, because small caps and mid caps in rallies outperform the benchmark, and in falls they underperform. इसमें तो कोई doubt ही नहीं है, but they do it in a torturous manner because they do it with time. And because it's such a vast universe, na, small cap, so many stocks, likelihood that the stock in my portfolio, even after the small cap index bottoms out, might not run for a year, 2 years.
और एक और चीज क्या जो मैंने देखी है स्मॉल कैप्स में, that you know in bear markets the kind of short squeezes that you get, like 10-12% can happen in like a week, and you think the worst is over.
आपको रिकवर, आपको एग्जिट नहीं देगा, लोअर सर्किट में मार देगा आपके, ओ सीधा आके उधर ही. सर नाउ कमिंग टू दैट पॉइंट सर, जो हम लोग बात कर रहे थे कि mid cap, small cap. Now, this is one small study I have done of the relative ratio of Nifty with the small cap index from 2004.
Achha,
okay, so you see, so see the .com recovery till the subprime. That is when the Nifty lagged the small cap. That was a era of 2004. .com का पूरा bubble खत्म हो गया था. Till 2008 we saw the market doing very well, did superbly well, continued to rally. Subprime crisis came. The market, of course, 1 year it took for the market to correct, but small caps were not doing well. Then came the announcement of Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister, and the market bottomed out around 4,200, August 2013. From there, we had a brilliant rally till 2018, February 1st, introduction of long-term capital gain taxes. Now, अगर आप कोई भी small cap stock का, all those who are new to the market and all those who are a part of this market, 2018 till 2020, Nifty rallied, Nifty went up. Small cap stocks did not. In fact, there was a scenario for those 2 years, sir, कि अगर आप 5,000 शेयर भी बेचने निकले थे मार्केट में, आपका लोअर सर्किट लग गया स्टॉक में. That was the
shallow liquidity.
Yes, that was the damage. And not just that, there were certain stocks which got delisted, there were certain stocks which became penny. Chale hi nahi. And certain big stocks also, sir. Agar an example would be, if you look at the charts of Graphite and HEG, 2014 to 2018, in your monthly charts, 2018 to 2020, see the retracement those stocks did. See the damage they did. Then came the pandemic low, the reversal, and this is where that trend line is now. This is where. So
So
अगर
अभी का
ये
जो, I mean that drop that we see from I think end of, I mean maybe the start of 2023, that is
yeah.
essentially small caps, outperforming the Nifty and how.
Absolutely. It was like crazy, na? Touch anything and it was golden. So now I have put this black line out here, one point, above this black line, agar monthly, because this is monthly, if it starts sustaining, then it's going to cause chaos. ये 1.35 से 1.5 में ही chaos कर सकता है. Now, forget the price wise chaos. Okay, वो तो अगर समझिए प्राइस अगर पुल बैक मारा, मैंने एवरेज किया, SIP किया, खरीद लिया, वापस ऊपर आ गया, I'm making my money. The worry factor for me is not that. The worry factor for me is the time of reversal, the number of months the reversal is taking place, the damage it is causing. So even if I look at 29 months, 2.5 years, 2.5 years of trouble it gave. 4 years of rally giving way to 2.5 years. So for me, I have to be super careful when I look at small caps going ahead, unless I see this trend line hitting it down again
Yes.
like this.
Because
Nahi to nahi.
there
Of
is no
course,
doubt.
there will be certain small caps which will do superbly well. Sector wise, they will do well. It doesn't mean the whole market will do badly in small caps. In fact, say what this basically means is that, say from 15,000 आता है small cap index, और से यहाँ से recover होता है. So for every 1,000-point recovery in a small cap index, the Nifty would probably do 1,500 to 2,000 points better.
Yes.
So
Yes.
one would have to be very careful to where to put your money. And number two is, since it's going to be a laggard, you never know which stock sector will run. It's too difficult in such a vast universe to pick out the big ones out. And the other part is, like I said, large cap में तो आप रात को सो भी सकते हो, ultimately चलेगा. They are good stocks, right? The large cap, they are defined profitable ones, most of them. Small cap में तो गायब हो जाएगा ना, आपका पता ही नहीं चलेगा वेल्थ डिस्ट्रक्शन का क्या आइडिया होता है. सो वन शुड नॉट बी लुकिंग एट penny stocks as multi baggers. वो days are at least not there right now. Be very careful. Control your greed going forward in small caps from here on. It's more about timing.
I think the long story short, Dinesh ji, ये है कि as long as that trend line is holding, and I can see it's an important trend line, and why you've got to be really careful with small caps.
If I do it in candlesticks, it's already there. ये तो लाइन चार्ट था, इसलिए मैंने आपको ऐसा दिखाया. तो कैंडलस्टिक इट इज ऑलरेडी टच्ड एंड टर्न्ड. सो और डर लग रहा है ना उसमें मुझे कि कर क्या देगा मार्केट को एकदम आगे. सो नाउ सर, कमिंग टू everyone's favorite, every household's favorite is gold and silver. Okay, now sir, gold mein we have a monthly push. Now look at the monthly. It's a spectacular COMEX chart, rounding bottom, handle ban gaya, cup and handle breakout hua, which has done one minimum. And going by what Trump is doing, he's talking about tariff wars, he's talking about in everything, which is spurring inflation, which will not be able to control interest rates, which is good for gold. Gold further.
Yeah, it's actually doing two things. One is obviously, it's spurring inflation, but it's also, bringing a lot of uncertainty into the whole discussion.
Yeah.
Right.
So we have, these are the projected cup and handle targets. Now these cup and handle target projections were made much earlier, sir, much earlier कि ये कर सकता है. We तो that time Biden was in power. Plus अगर आप notice करो यहाँ पर, just let me make it bigger, ये वाला, ये एक inverse head and shoulder breakout हुआ within that, right?
और वहाँ पे एक और चीज which is so crystal clear is when you had that small pullback, look at where it found support, exactly at the cloud border, right, which was also going flat.
Yeah, correct? So we have something in terms of gold कि ये अभी this is like पुष्पा, झुकेगा नहीं. So it's not an asset which one should be looking to short. Look at opportunities to long. And अगर कोई मिलता है pull back, जैसे था इसमें एक bearish ABCD था which failed day before yesterday. Now the next one is
that is I mean any failed pattern is
will lead to aggressive,
invaluable message if you ask me, because then it tells you that
It'll give a sharp short covering move na to you, and then further more sentiment greed comes in. So 2860 के पहले तो कुछ नहीं है इसमें. Yes, maybe यहाँ पर थोड़ा सा पॉज करेगा, ऑल टाइम हाई है, यहाँ पर थोड़ा पॉज कर सकता है, बट ओवरऑल gold is an asset which is looking like smart money is going to keep on adding it.
Yeah, and if you're saying 2860, it means we've made like an all-time high, because the last spot high was 2829 के आसपास.
Yeah. So any central bank in the world, like today Bank of Japan did, कोई कुछ announcement करेगा and it will spark a move like that, right? So sir, ये हुआ gold.
So
MCX.
I mean, is it therefore fair to say that if someone's thinking about how much to allocate to equities or bonds or gold should form some part of that allocation process, right?
Absolutely. If you are not done it till now, then now also is a time to do a SIP karo. Don't go aggressive at one go. SIP karo. Any dip to this trend line. This is the MCX one, or simple gold Bs, sir. Let's forget speculation. Let's look at investment, gold Bs or a gold mutual fund. Look at it like that angle only, and it's a wonderful instrument. Your money is safe in the gold Bs. You're not trying to time a trading bet in that. It's a safe haven. It is better than trying to get into a small cap and get burnt than to put this money for some time now. It's more safer.
Plus there's no leverage, no? So
yeah, no leverage. And दूसरा बात सर कि आपका पैसा सेफ है उसमें, गोल्ड में. गोल्ड क्या आपके घर में काम आ जाएगा, आपके घर में काम आ जाएगा. वो स्मॉल कैप अटक जाएगा घर में आपका. Now look at silver, sir. Silver quarterly charts.
I think the mother of all cup and handles.
Yes. So it is अभी तक तो handle breakout ही नहीं हुआ. It's still early part of it. अभी भी handle formation में है यहाँ पर in the quarterly. It will take its own sweet time. Courtesy the dollar index. वो अपना आराम से चलेगा. और currently the gold silver ratio, gold is a buy, silver is not yet a buy. For me, in the case of silver, this head and shoulder formation is a bit of a pain. So I would like to see 32.33 taken out. Else I would like it to come down to 28.25 to $27 to start the aggressive gold buy.
These two charts, right? I mean, the simple takeaway for me, wo kya hai, I'll tell you. Gold, on the verge of making a new high and maybe going higher. Silver lagging badly is a sign that I think the premium for gold is coming from uncertainty and the risk of an inflation uptick.
Absolutely. That's the main cause, no, sir. Uncertainty. And so lot of people in the last 4 years think gold only goes up because if there is a war crisis, Ukraine, Russia, or Palestine, Israel, it's also it's main inflation. It's your best, safest haven against inflation, gold, right now. So now, sir, look at the dollar index. This is the dollar index आपका weekly, right? It's a clear double bottom breakout. यहाँ पर, right? Now the double bottom breakout is doing a pullback. Let it come down into this area 105.3 to 104, anywhere inside this channel. Maybe from 107 also till here, it will complete its pullback journey inside this journey, and then I expect the dollar index to do something like this, and then 114. It will retest these candles out here, sir.
Which basically says a lot also about interest rates in the US and whether the Fed will actually be able to cut if these kind of inflation pressures start originating again.
So अगर ये failure है, supposing ये failure है, तो it should breach below 102.
अच्छा, okay.
So in this zone, ideally near this consolidation zone 105, 106 till 104.75 is a wonderful area where one should set alerts for a reversal. तब तक it is going to be, doing its pullback. बहुत जबरदस्त candle है. It will do its pullback. Let it do its pullback and then look at the dollar index. So one should plan the move accordingly in gold, in silver, whichever way you want to look at it. Now, sir, because हम लोग को लग रहा है 22,700 या 22,400 से एक हमको अच्छा बाउंस बैक मिलेगा, और अगर समझे यहाँ से ही मिलता है a budget rally or whichever way you want to put it, there are some sectors which are standing out to me and some are not. The one sector which is looking very bad to me going forward is the pharma sector. Now this is the
अच्छा.
Ichimoku weekly chart. You can see bearish TK crossover हुआ है. Now for those who do moving averages, it is a simple answer to moving averages. जैसे moving average में death crossover होता है, हमारा इसमें bearish crossover होता है. अब weekly में bearish crossover हुआ है and 2 consecutive candles have closed below the baseline.
So follow through.
Not a good sign. So normally what we do in traditional moving average crossovers, we'll wait for the pullback and then we join the trend, right? So इसमें भी शायद एक next week छोटा सा pullback मिल सकता है. It could be in the range of 22,200 till 21,500. Then give us a pullback. This looks pretty bad to me for a pull down. So it's one of the sectors which was the best bullish sector for months, right? After IT, it was doing superbly well. It is now giving signs of really wobbling very badly. One of the reasons could be the Trump administration's pharma policy. US FDA is pro-American. It is not global in nature. They are talking about several changes coming in that. It could hurt the Indian pharma-based companies, US-dependent companies. And look at this, sir. और क्या बोलूं इसमें आपको, कितना गंदा लग रहा है ये यहाँ पर. ये ऑलरेडी क्लाउड के नीचे है, एंगल्ड फॉल है पूरा का पूरा. सो वन इन फार्मा आई वुड बी जो बोलते हैं ना बाय द डिप, मेरे लिए फार्मा इज not
one of them.
No sir, one should be very careful in pharma going forward at all. Could be one of the weakest sectors in this coming quarter, like this. Now, the other one now is where I see the bounce coming from, where nobody wants to touch, is the FMCG sector.
Yes.
So look at the Ichimoku in the monthly. The baseline has never been violated from the pandemic. Never.
I just saw that.
This is the first time it has come to test the baseline. Now, again, for those people who are not Ichimoku affluent, who are into moving averages, this monthly baseline is equivalent to a 200 moving average, which is the Dow, क्योंकि उसको जहां से हमें एक अच्छा bounce मिलता है. So it's that kind of a strong support level in that. Or you can say in a monthly 50 moving average or something like that. It has got that kind of an impact, and it is not going to be flat. This one, it's going to try to push its way up. The FMCG index is something I will be looking very closely at. It's taken this area. It's trying to hold on to it out here. Look at the daily, sir. Daily में double divergence बने हैं इसमें. ओके सर, डबल डाइवर्जेंस है, पूरा का पूरा डाइवर्जेंस बना है और होल्ड कर रहा है यहाँ पर. सो we've only had Hindustan Unilever which has come out with their numbers in FMCG. The other FMCG ones are yet to come out. The market reacted to Hindustan Unilever yesterday with this.
And if you look at the whole move, I mean at the lows, it's not collapsing. It's just passing through time.
Right. So FMCG is one sector. Like I said, the market, the sectors which nobody wants to touch it right now. Everyone has lost hope in FMCG is something I have my eyes on. I would look at it go above 56,500. Let it sustain above the daily baseline. It should give you a decent pullback in the market, because I have to also keep in mind as an investor in FMCG stocks, the Hindustan Unilevers, Britannia, ITCs, all these stocks, from an investor point of view, this is the level we love to wait to add like that. There's a low risk entry out there in these terms. So that is something I'm going to look forward to. Iska history hai, dekh lijiye aap. I'm going all the way back. I'm going to just expand it.
In fact, I'm looking at the 2000. Was it 2020?
Yeah, that's the only time when it hit down to the
Yeah,
cloud.
but I mean, what's interesting is where it took support, right? Even in a
Yeah,
collapse like
cloud.
that,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
cloud.
And उसके पहले सब प्राइम है.
इन दोनों के
Otherwise,
बीच में कुछ भी नहीं है. It's not even come
नहीं,
inside the cloud.
it's just a beauty of a what you call a move in that. Yes, वो slow चलता है, defensive sector है. It doesn't give you the flashy moves like other sectors do, but it is something where value money is suggesting, giving you the signals. ठीक है, monthly है ना. अब रुक जाओ. Let the formation give you a confirmation. One of the simplest way to do is to wait for 2 green candles in the daily. एक ग्रीन कैंडल बनने दीजिए, नेक्स्ट ग्रीन कैंडल को उस ग्रीन कैंडल के ऊपर बंद होने दीजिए. यू नो देयर इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ टर्न एंड दैट लो इज योर area of exit if you go wrong. So it's a confirmation, it's a low risk potential to do well going forward. That's my reading.
And for such a low risk, long entry, you know exactly where the market is going to prove you wrong, no?
Yeah,
I mean, this is a game
so
of probability.
your risk is defined. Your risk is totally defined. That you're not playing a guessing game, and we must follow what the charts tell us now. If we follow what it is telling us, then we do that only at this point. Yes, right now it will appear like a laggard to you. It will appear something which is not doing great. So give it 1 or 2. Momentum will be slower, but foundation consolidation time hai wo, uska. So it's an A sector one should keep an eye on.
Understood,
in
sir.
that. And the last one, sir, is because of silver. Because of silver and because of the pullback we are seeing in the dollar index right now is the metal sector. Right? Metal and dollar index are राहु केतु एक दूसरे के संग करते हैं. यहां पर एक हमको सुपर बाउंस मिला फ्रॉम अ बैट पैटर्न. सुपर बाउंस मिला. It might do a pullback now. If it does a pullback, then again that zone of 7950 to 7765, if it does, is an area where metals might revive the move. It's not necessary it will come down this much, but it's an area one should keep in mind.
In fact,
Also,
it's interesting.
yeah.
What you've done, what it's done at the bottom right, this
Yeah.
small decline that we've seen, it might actually become, the right shoulder of a, inverse head and shoulders pattern. No?
Right. Also, sir, अगर upside निकल जाता है, pullback नहीं करता है, so this is that area of consolidation I'm looking at. Okay.
Yes,
यहाँ
yes.
एक बार, दो बार, तीन बार उसके बाद गिरा है. So this area is not going to give up also that is, break out on the upside so easily. So there's no rushing into something. The idea is that on panic drops towards this level of 7,800 to 7,600, one should be keeping an eye on metals, or let it break on the upside of 8,800 and look at metals. So from that angle to look, plan your trade. This is, again I will repeat, sir, this is not a 2023-24 market. This is a very, very tough market we are dealing with. In this market, you have to set your levels. You have to wait patiently. उधर आना है तो उधर ट्रेड करना है, नहीं तो कुछ नहीं करना है. Don't try to fight the trend.
यानी सीधी बात यह है कि अगर आपने कुछ लेवल्स लॉन्ग टर्म या मीडियम टर्म लेवल्स निकाल के रखे हैं, तो मार्केट का वहां पे आने के लिए पेशेंटली वेट करिए. Don't chase the market and you'll be rewarded, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Do not get flustered by small moves. Don't get carried away. Don't get into the fear greed factor. Stick out. और जब समझने नहीं आता है ना, especially at times like this, जब नहीं समझने आ रहा है ट्रेड, तो ट्रेड मत करो. शांति से बैठो और follow an expert. Listen to your analysis. आप लोग रोज इतना रिपोर्ट्स निकालते हो. Follow that. That's why I said, na sir, analysis is overrated in our country. People try to do it on their own. When you have experts sitting at platforms like Access who are giving the view away to the clients and all that, कि ये हमारा view है. It is the trading discipline and the risk management which is more important. कि follow it and respect it, or things will work it in a proper manner in that manner. That's my whole thing about the market, sir.
No, thank you very much, Dinesh ji. I'm feeling a little sad that we did not invite you any earlier than today to talk to our viewers, but it has been absolutely fantastic. And I'm sure these are not just my thoughts, but of everyone who's attending this webinar and listening to
Thank you, sir.
those amazing insights that you've shared. So thank you very much, sir. And hopefully our team has recorded this. And it's been such an amazing learning for everyone, because the markets are just at a juncture which for me is an opportunity for us to dive deep into the world of doing high quality research, right? This is
Yeah.
where the amount of time that you spend doing research actually starts benefiting
Yeah.
one and all. So and I'm a big believer that you can listen to experts. I mean, they're doing this job day in and day out. But like you rightly said, ultimately it's patience, discipline, and knowing that you cannot win 100% of the time that you trade or invest.
Absolutely
I
not
think that is a
possible.
very reasonable expectation to
Not
have, right?
possible. Not possible. Absolutely. Don't get into the whole thing about trading is expectation. If you
Bilkul.
can curb that emotion of yours and just follow the system, let the system do it for you totally,
Yeah.
and don't have to do everything. It's not necessary to do intraday trading. It's not necessary to do also option trading and also future trading and also cash. Just try to find out your
And make
strengths.
money doing everything. That's another unrealistic
Yeah, find
expectation,
your
right?
strength and stick to that. Yeah, so I have known traders who are brilliant intraday traders, but they do not have it in them to carry one single trade overnight. So it's the mindset. They are brilliant in
Yeah.
it. And I could be vice versa, who doesn't like to do intraday, wants to carry. So it's your nature, it's your potential on what you have.
Yeah,
Identify
yeah.
that and follow
I
that.
think the
Just
mantra.
follow that, respect
I
it.
think I totally agree, Dinesh ji. I think the long story short here is, everyone has a certain style, risk tolerance, and a sweet spot.
Yeah,
Identify what it is in your case, and then just follow the system.
absolutely. Absolutely,
Right.
sir.
But Dinesh ji, thank you so much. And to
Thank
all
you.
of our
Thank you for having
viewers,
me,
I
sir.
want to I want to wish you a super duper weekend, and
Thank
hopefully
you, sir.
these amazing insights from Dinesh ji have helped. So on that note, happy Republic Day to everyone who's attended this session, and your families. Stay safe, and we will come back to you soon with more such high quality content. But Dinesh ji, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, sir, and happy Republic Day to everyone and a great weekend.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you.